Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're going to do something pretty incredible. We're going to unpack an entire epic war. I'm talking conflict, duty, tragedy, the whole shebang. And we're going to do it by looking at just one thing, a single sound from one ancient verse.
I mean, how can a single sound start a war? It sounds wild, right? Like one noise being the starting pistol for one of the biggest conflicts in all of literature. But that is exactly what happened. And the story behind that sound, well, that's what we're diving into right now.
So let's picture this. We're on a massive battlefield. Two huge armies are staring each other down. The tension is just, you could cut it with a knife. In ancient warfare, there was always a clear signal to kick things off, a point of no return. And it wasn't a general shouting, "Charge!" or a trumpet blast. Nope, it was the sound of a conch shell. And in those final, tense moments before the chaos, that's the sound everyone was waiting for.
And then it happens. This one verse from the Bhagavad Gita just nails the exact moment it all kicks off. And it's not a big speech, not a royal command. It's just a sound, a roar, and the blast of a conch shell. And it all comes from one man, Bhishma. Okay, so this verse gives us the key details, right? The who, Bhishma, this highly respected, kind of legendary grandfather figure. The what, he roars like a lion and blows his conch. And the why, which is interesting, it says he did it to bring joy to his grandnephew Duryodhana. Seems straightforward enough, but trust me, there is so much more going on beneath the surface here.
So that makes you wonder, what did that sound actually mean? Was this just Bhishma hyping up his side, making some noise to get the troops fired up? Or was this a signal that had a very specific and way more important meaning?
Let's break it down. The first part of that sound is described with the Sanskrit term simhanadam, and that literally means a lion's roar. Now, this isn't just a random shout. Think about what a lion's roar is. It's all about projecting absolute power, authority, total fearlessness. It's the sound a king makes, a commander letting everyone on the field know, I am here.
And then you have the second part, the shankham, which is the conch shell. Now, in ancient Indian warfare, this wasn't just some instrument for making music. No way. Blowing the conch was the official, universally understood signal that the battle was starting. Right now. It was the final moment, the absolute point of no return.
So you put those two sounds together, the personal, powerful roar and the official, formal conch blast, and you realize this was no random emotional outburst. The roar was all about his personal power. The conch was the official declaration. Bhishma wasn't just yelling. He was formally, officially kicking off the war.
Okay, so this leads to a pretty logical question, doesn't it? If you're the guy starting the war with this huge, powerful display, you must be pretty darn confident you're going to win, right? I mean, this is Bhishma we're talking about, the glorious patriarch, the most feared warrior out there. Why on earth would he start a war he didn't think he could win?
And this is where the story gets really fascinating and honestly pretty tragic. Because the commentary on this verse drops an absolute bombshell. Bhishma, he knew they had no chance. He knew they were going to lose. He was completely, 100% aware that victory was impossible. Why? Because Lord Krishna himself was on the other side.
So, why? Just why? Why would this brilliant commander, this wise old man, knowingly, willingly start a war that he knew for a fact would destroy his entire side? This question, right here, is the heart of all the human drama packed into this one little verse.
What this shows us is Bhishma's incredible internal conflict. On the one hand, his knowledge, his wisdom is screaming, this war is already lost. But on the other hand, his action is to roar and blow the conch. And the commentary tells us why he does it. It's because he looked over and saw the anxiety on his grandnephew's face. And his main motivation in that moment, it was just to cheer the kid up, to give him one last moment of joy before everything fell apart.
So you see, that one sound was so much more than a simple act. It was a message. And it was working on multiple levels all at the same time. The personal, the professional, and in the end,
the historical. So let's just lay it all out. This one single action had 3 totally separate meanings. First, on a personal level, it was a grandfather trying to reassure his anxious grandnephew. Second, on a professional level, he was doing his duty as the commander of the army. And third, on a historical level, it was the official declaration that this massive, epic war had finally begun.
And that right there is the core of the tragedy, isn't it? A simple, deeply human act. A grandfather, just trying to comfort his grandnephew, gets all tangled up with his duty as a soldier. And in that one moment, that one sound becomes the official starting gun for a devastating war that he knows will destroy his entire family, his entire dynasty.
And that leaves us with a really deep question, doesn't it? A question that really gets to the heart of who Bhishma is and what this whole epic tale is about. What does it actually mean to do your duty, to fight with everything you have, for a cause that you know deep down is already lost? It's definitely something to think about. Thanks for joining us today on The Explainer.